Hey everybody, this is Cyrus, once again, Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics, coming at you with another video. And today I'm in Mcleodganj, which is the home of the Dalai Lama. And it's also the home of thousands of Tibetan settlers who have escaped China and have been doing so for the last about 50 years or longer. So among places I've been to on my travels, this is one of my favorites because the vibe here is really special, and it is like other Indian cities in the sense that it seems a bit congested and you have these epic traffic jams that you can walk through like we're doing right now. Even though the town is quite small, it's funny how in India, no matter how small a town is, it still feels overpopulated, which is, I don't know what that is, but what makes this place unique is there's an abundance of Tibetan monks and people on their own kind of spiritual paths. So you'll see all types of people, from hippies to monks to Sikhs and every other religious group you can think of. And so as a result, many people here are very open to the types of stuff that we talk about on this channel. And so already I've had a lot of fun here, really cool place. And given where we are, given the diversity of opinions, I feel like this would be a good point to talk about the subject of receiving misleading information on your kind of spiritual path, as well as direct misleading ideas communicated when you are doing work related to mediumship or EVP or astral projection, and how this is something that is quite dangerous, especially for people just getting into esoteric subjects, because it can really lead you into weird directions. It's getting a little bit more quiet. We're finally leaving behind that congestion. But this can be very dangerous for people who are first learning about these things. So I want to get into that a little bit. Before we begin, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. Helps keep this operation going, or you can donate at the Patreon, patreon.com/Afterlife Topics. So, why am I bringing up this subject? That's because last night I was having some kind of weird astral experiences where I was talking to different people, which is my primary goal when I'm having those types of experiences, which is to interview, talk to people, and get a better idea about some of the things that we know we don't fully understand yet. So actually these are the steps leading back down to my hostel. I'll definitely be in shape by the time I leave Mcleodganj. And let's take a quick look at the beautiful mountains. So it is a mountain town. Up there is the tail end of the Himalayas. I don't know the name of that mountain, but it is part of the Himalayas. It's almost always covered in snow because it's so darn cold up there all year round. And in this forest, it looks very much like Arizona or New Mexico or Colorado, although there's different types of species here. For example, monkeys and things like that. So very, very beautiful. The air is very fresh. Anyway, so I was having some astral experiences, and I was talking to a guy who was deliberately trying to mislead me. So I was talking to this guy, and he on that side, and he was telling me that basically some of this like fear porn stuff. He was saying that when you die on the other side, you die for real. There's no moving on to any other dimension. If you're in the astral side and somebody kills you, then you will stop existing. He also tried to tell me that I could get stuck outside my body and I have to go back because I won't be able to leave once I'm stuck there. And both of these are literally like superstitions that you'll hear in the community sometimes. And this guy was basically, he recognized what I was doing, which is that I was in an astral state, and instead of being kind and knowledgeable and giving me accurate information, he was literally trying to mislead me. And I don't know what the motivation for doing that might be. Maybe for a laugh, maybe because of some kind of bitterness. I don't know. Uh-oh. Looks like we have a puppy fight about to happen. You can tell they're not really fighting because, his tail is wagging. Anyway, so I don't know what the motivation would be for something like that. But that was something. And, it's not the first time that I've encountered, like, strange people in these types of explorations who seem interested in misleading people and confusing people. And there was a book about this called The Trickster and the Paranormal. I can't remember the author, but it was about a trickster archetype in all these fields where there's always seemingly entities or communicators attempting to mislead people, misinform people. And they're quite convincing. Like this guy was saying, man, I don't want to have to tell you this. I have something I have to tell you. This is like a secret, but you can get stuck here if you go out of body. You can die here, and it's not a nice place. Basically, just trying to scare me. And you might be wondering who was this guy? And he looked kind of like a white collar guy. He had like a button-up shirt on, glasses, dark hair. And I think I just met him like on the street someplace. But he recognized what I was doing. I was going up to people asking questions like I always do. And, again, instead of providing accurate information, he was trying to cause fear, trying to scare me. Now, these same individuals that we meet on that side, or that you can physically meet when you go into the astral state, they're the same people that might be coming through an EVP session, that might be coming through a mediumship session. So these very same people that you're meeting on that side, and it's just a smorgasbord of different personality types, are the same people who might be meddling with your seances, your mediumship practices, your EVP, whatever it might be. And for some reason, some people just want to, they want to play pranks or they want to be mean. And that's the weird thing about that side, is you have these kind of middle astral levels where it's just a huge mix of people, just like here. You get random people off the street here, and you'll get nice people, you'll get some not so nice people. So definitely consider this as a source of many of the misconceptions about this subject, that there is a percentage of people or entities on that side who want to cause confusion. They want to mislead people, and they're far from benevolent. And it may just be an act of epic levels of passive aggression for whatever reason. So you want to, on a practical level, you want to make sure that you're coming from a positive space. You are entering these states, or you are experimenting with this stuff from a very, again, positive state of mind, that you feel comfortable with yourself. You don't have lingering stresses and anxieties and fears and things like that. You want to be just very, very cognizant of those types of things, because usually your own mood kind of regulates the types of people who gravitate around you, the types of environments that you end up in. And so that's the most simplest way, but also you have to practice critical thinking. And when you hear ideas that don't resonate, don't make any sense, you feel somebody is tricking you, then reject it. Because right now there is a lot of fear about this subject. I hear a lot of people talking about how everything is out to get you on the other side. There's archons. Maybe there are archons, but if there is, it's not like everything in your toaster oven on the astral side wants to murder you, wants to kidnap you, or wants to make you have to reincarnate. It's a lot of this is basically fear porn that's being generated. It's being generated from misleading information on that side, and people on this side also misinterpreting information. Yeah, there are threats, there are issues, there are things to be aware of, and it's not all roses and flowers like certain New Age books like to have you believe, but it's also much closer to our world than people imagine, in the sense that it's a incredibly diverse range of characters, and just like here, you have to practice critical thinking and probably be even more vigilant, because on that side we're dealing with people who have much more advanced levels of consciousness than we do, for better or worse. So the regular person on that side has perhaps levels of cunning and intelligence, or I guess you could say, yeah, just the abilities to be manipulative, for example, more so than people here, because they have potentially hundreds of years more practice engaging in that type of behavior. So you have to be very very critical about this type of stuff. Well, that's it for this video. If you like this stuff, please go to afterlifetopics.com. You can check out books like Understanding Life After Death, my first book, where I give a rundown about this whole crazy subject that we talk about in this channel, or you can join the Facebook group at Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics on Facebook. All right, guess that's it for now. Let's take one more look at Mcleodganj. I will be here for the next month, a little less than a month. I've already seen the Dalai Lama, and they actually have me now writing for the local Tibetan magazine called Contact. So I will be producing some articles in this little magazine. It's also going to be on the contactmagazine.net. Probably no, articles are not that special per se. I mean, more like news reporting, like today the Dalai Lama said this, and then the Dalai Lama wishes blah 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 blah. His Holiness the Dalai Lama. But if you're curious, you can check out contactmagazine.net. And yep, I'll be here for the next month doing that kind of work. It'll be a lot of fun. And again, you know, beautiful place. I never even knew this place existed. You know, physical travel becoming kind of like astral travel, going to these kind of crazy locations I never even knew about, and discovering all kinds of stuff that I never knew existed. Never knew that this hidden mountain town was filled with amazing restaurants and backpackers, people from around the world. And it's a much nicer vibe than other places I've been to, like Hanoi, Vietnam, which, you know, I mean, I kind of like it when I'm in towns like this, which are not just about partying, because a lot of these backpacker ghettos, as some people call them, it's all just people partying. You know, it's, you know, wake up, drink alcohol, 6 o'clock rolls around, nightclubs, stay out till 4 o'clock a.m., pass out, puke in your hostel, wake up the next day, repeat. And I'm getting too old for that crap, and really like the more casual social environment like this. These are just some thoughts I had. Anyway, I'll catch you guys on the next video.